Welcome to One Take News. I'm Adam McDermott. Once a week I do a roundup of what's been happening in the world of gaming in just one take. Screw-ups be damned. Before I begin, let me just say it's a couple of days to E3 and there is a lot of rumours and speculation about stuff that may or may not happen. I'm leaving all of that out, okay? If it's not concrete, I'm not going to tell you about it. It's something that you can hang your hat on. That's the news I do. So let's crack on with some really positive news, and that is Watch Dogs sales, which are huge. 4 million in its first week. This is the biggest amount of sales for any new intellectual property in the video game industry in ever? Maybe not ever, maybe there's some games back in the 80s, but massive sales, huge success. So it does say that the anticipation, the hype, the huge amount of resource spent towards marketing, all did pay off in the end. And what this means is that guaranteed you're going to see Watch Dogs 2, 3, Watch Dogs spin-off for sure. And that's a good thing. New IPs in the gaming industry are good things. It's nice to kind of try new things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it selling quite well. And each new iteration is going to get a little bit better, which is good news. Speaking of good news, what a segue. Forza Horizon 2 has been officially announced by Microsoft, and they said it is coming in fall for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. For us in Europe, fall is autumn. So yeah, that's about 4 or 5 months away. Not too shabby. Forza is a beautiful racing simulation game. Forza and Gran Turismo are the two pinnacles of racing simulation. It's nice to get an announcement about the next one coming. So yeah, lots to look forward to there. And yes, speaking of things that are very, very cool looking, I suppose, maybe. Madden NFL 15 released a new screenshot of Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, and the detail is staggering. He looks really cool, really good, very nice to see. Madden is a series that it figured out its gameplay about a decade ago. It really did. It got its gameplay is sorted. Now it's time to just tweak and update the presentation. And this looks to be the biggest gap since the PS2, the PS3, and the Xbox 360. The presentation is going to go through the roof. It is going to be really cool to see all that in motion, not just in screen captures, but in motion. Very excited to see that. In some I suppose anyone who's hoping to see Guerrilla Games' new IP being shown at E3 is unfortunately you're going to be disappointed. Guerrilla Games developed the Killzone series, highly successful, and they've been working on this new IP, an open world RPG, for the last 2.5 years, and it's not going to be shown at E3. They were on a Reddit Ask Me Anything and somebody point blank asked, are we going to see your new IP at E3? And they responded with, no, we won't be showing it right now. Simple reason, we are confident enough in the game, but it's not something we can show and expect reasonable feedback. There is simply a lot of work that needs to be done before we show it to our fans. Can't fault them there. They've got a very high standard, and if they don't feel their game is up to that standard yet, I'm okay with them holding back and showing it later. Hopefully we'll get a teaser in the next 6 months or so, just to know the name of it or a release window. That'd be really cool. Finishing on a big positive. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain's map size is fucking huge. It is giant. I can't even... So during a webcast of Kojima Station, the creator of Metal Gear Solid himself, Hideo Kojima, brought a map with him showing the size of Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain in comparison to previous Metal Gear Solid games, and it dwarfs them. It is just astounding how massive this map is. What is really going to be curious to see is, because Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain is an open world stealth game, how are they going to populate such a vast landscape with enough objects and interactions to make sure that the stealth mechanic is still worthwhile and can be used effectively? I can't wait. I would really like to see somebody just prop down in the map and just run straight and see what they come across. That's going to be a huge game. That is probably going to be the most anticipated game next year or whenever it comes out. There's a ruler at the bottom of the map which shows that in width it is 4 kilometers. And it doesn't say the length because after a certain point the map is blurry. Maybe it doesn't want to show off that part of the map yet. And it's looking at least 6 kilometers in length, I'm just estimating, which would make it 24 square kilometers. A game map, 24 square kilometers for a stealth game. To put that in comparison, Skyrim, that open world RPG of vastness, was 38 square kilometers. And that's open world RPG where you can just run and just discover things on your own. This is a stealth game that is going to be 2/3 that size. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but I'm just ecstatic to see how they can. Because I know if Hideo Kojima releases a game, it is going to be top notch. So I can't wait to see just not a developer and not a game tester, but just a random person. I want to see the gameplay from a random person, just drop down and let it run free. It's going to be a game that if you buy it, that's your game for the year. You could just spend a year. Wow, very exciting. And that's is that. So thanks for joining me. That's a roundup of what's been happening the last week. In 3 days is E3. If E3 is too much for you to handle, just too much information, and you can't digest it all, be sure to check back here next week where I'll be doing a post E3 special where I'll run down the big announcements and some of the games that slipped under the radar. So be sure to check back then. Until next time, take care folks.